Well, Coach DuPaix, welcome back, and just how's it feel to be back at Navy? I know you loved it here when you were here before.
I'll tell you what, it's great to be back. Love this family, love the university, love everything about this place. I mean, the kids, the discipline, just the spirit here is amazing. And for me and my family to come back, it's a treat. It really is. It's a treat, and just to be able to come and be part of this group, be on the grass, run around. I can't. It's like Christmas morning, frankly.
Right.
So, go back to when you were 7, 8 years old and loving life. That's how I feel. You get to do something I really love and cherish, and just grateful to be back here.
You coached slot backs the last time you were here, the first time. Is it like riding a bike? Does you kind of get right back into it? I know BYU didn't have slot backs, and I don't know. I know at Southern Virginia you did.
Sure.
You were the head coach, but getting back to coach the slot backs is almost like you.
It is. It's a lot like riding a bike. Coach O'Rourke's done an amazing job. And he's going to continue to do an amazing job with the tackles now, and to come back and just get back into the groove of things with the motions and a lot of moving parts. It's a little bit like being a quarterback. You have to have that mindset that you really have to understand the whole scheme. You have to understand what everybody's doing, and so it's been fun to get back into it. And I do feel a little bit like just getting back on the bike and pedaling, but things have changed. Things have evolved.
Oh yeah,
in a great way.
Say, so probably a little learning process for you coming back.
Yeah,
right?
so that part's been really good too, just to sharpen the sword a little bit, and couldn't be more excited to be with these guys. And they work hard. Love my A-backs, and only been with them a couple days, but I love the way they work, the effort they bring, the attitude they bring, the toughness they bring. Really excited about what the future holds for us.
Well, Coach had mentioned that even while you were away, you stayed in touch, and that might have helped things a little bit because you did come back and do some tutoring sessions and probably went to some practices. But can you kind of talk about that? You maintained that connection.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, when I was a little kid, my dad ran the option as a high school ball coach, and so being around the option is something I've always loved and appreciated. So once I left here, certainly keeping relationships with. These guys they're great coaches, but they're also some of my best friends. And I still remember when Coach Nehemiah got the job, and I came in, and Coach Ingram came in with me, and being with Coach O'Rourke and Coach Judd, just Coach Jasper, the rest of the guys. So coming back, over the last 7 years, it's like coming back and seeing family and touching up, knocking the rust off of the football side of things. And so I've always stayed close to them that way, and really because I care about them. They're just great guys, and they know football. And so it's just a way to kind of knock two birds out at one time.
So can you talk about the way you've evolved as coach? I know BYU was kind of a dream job, and you felt like you had to take that, get back home, and it didn't work out, and then you ended up at Southern Virginia. But I'm sure you've grown as a coach, learned things. You're not the same man that left Annapolis 7 years ago.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's I've told a lot of people recently that I won't take a day here for granted. This is such a special place, and certainly going back to BYU and being closer to family, and my wife and I are both from that area. For a lot of reasons it made sense, but when you're away from here and you realize how good you have it, to be around young men that are going to become phenomenal leaders of our country and just who they are, you can't replace that. And so that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I just really appreciate and love being here is to be with those guys. And
right.
It really is a special place, and
right.
I'll cherish every second that I have. You wake up early in the morning, and some people wake up early, and it's like, dang, here I go again. You gotta go earn money to pay for the bread on the table, and for me, it's like I wake up and I'm so jacked to just get in the car and get here,
right.
just to come be with these guys. So it really is a special place, and I've learned a lot. From coaching, different ways to coach, being around other people, you're always learning. I truly believe you're either growing or you're declining, and my philosophy is to keep growing, through a slide edge philosophy, and I've taken that approach, and I do feel a lot more confident in the way that I can coach these guys because I'm more experienced,
right?
And I feel really good about that. But it's a process, and one that we're going to push these guys to the limits and make them the very best possible apex that they can become. Over the next, what do we got? It's 5 months till
right.
August, and then here we go, 2018 season.
Right. Well, welcome aboard, Coach. And I guess the first thing, tell the people the proper pronunciation of your name.
Yeah, I guess that's the first order of business. So my first name is Sione, S-I-O-N-E. So that's pronounced Sione. And then my last name is Pouha, P-O-U-H-A, but it's a B pronunciation, so it's Pouha.
Okay,
Yeah,
we will get that right from here on out.
Thank you.
It's not easy. Just tell me your thoughts on coming here to the Naval Academy. Getting into coaching. This has got to be great opportunity.
Oh yeah, wonderful opportunity. For me to be here and for me to be able to, come and coach under Coach Newman-Tololo and also be with the D linemen. So definitely a great honor and a privilege to be here.
So, I mean, did you have a relationship with Kenny? I mean, Kenny knows a lot of the. You're of a Samoan background, I believe.
Yeah, Polynesian background.
Right.
So
So
yeah.
I think Kenny has a good handle and knows a lot of those guys just over the years. Did you guys have a relationship, you and Kenny?
We knew of each other. We didn't have too much of an relationship where we really knew each other. But when he makes a hire, he does his homework.
Yeah.
And he's the most thorough guys, and he does his homework a lot when he picks people or when he recruits guys. So
you were talking about your thoughts and what you were going to. Did you think you'd get into coaching?
Yes. I knew I wanted to coach. Played this game for a long time, and again, playing the game and running the game is two different things from being a player to being a coach. So I definitely got a lot to learn, and I got I definitely got my part to play in terms of coaching and all that stuff. But I'm all for it.
Right. So how would you describe your coaching style? I mean, what is it when you work with the D linemen? What are you looking to do?
So kind of like my coaching philosophy is reduce and simplify.
Okay.
Keep things as simple as possible for the guys, but yet effective.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think, as a player, the less I thought, the faster I played. And so I got to do a great job on my end preparing a real thorough, real clear, games and real clear game plans for these guys to be able to understand and then execute that. And so my whole thing is all about simplicity, keeping it simple for the guys, but yet very effective.
Right. I was watching you coach the other day on Saturday, and you're hands-on, and obviously you haven't played the game. You can demonstrate for the guys,
Yeah.
But I mean, and I guess part of it for you though is that there's so much knowledge that you have to, like you mentioned, you can't expect them to know what you know at being an NFL player, so you have to try to. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, so I kind of go back. I mean, there's a lot of information. Like I played football for a long time,
right.
Played in the league for a little bit, and then so what you really got to do is you got to remember how you were as a student.
Mm-hmm.
Like how did you absorb stuff? Like how did you process stuff? What was an experience where it was too much for you? What was an experience when it was too less for you? And so I kind of really just, even though I'm a new coach, I kind of draw back on those experiences about what was it like to be the student, and then in retrospect go on the other side and be like, hey, teach as if I was the student, where it's very understandable, very fast, and so that's kind of the approach that I take when I prepare my room.
So obviously, as a new coach, there's there's here on the grass and doing the teaching, and you got to get out and recruit. And Coach Newman-Tololo told me he thinks you're going to be a great recruiter. You got a great personality, we can tell. But are you looking forward to that aspect?
Yeah, looking forward to getting out there, getting out on the field, meet some prospective midshipmen, be able to get in the homes, be able to talk to coaches, and definitely get some midshipmen here.
Right. Well, first of all, welcome back, and how's it feel to be back at the Naval Academy?
We're excited. When this first came up, we were really excited. My family has a ton of great memories here. We stayed in contact with several of the coaches, followed them just through the players that we had recruited or had coached here. So we always watched the Army game, and we're really excited, and just can't wait to kind of get going back.
Right. So I know when there was an opportunity to go coach with your brother, which you couldn't pass up, and I'm sure that was special. And then that ended. But kind of talk about what's been happening with you since you left Navy. Obviously, you did have that couple great years coaching with your brother, and then you end up being a D coordinator.
Right. We were at Louisville for 3 seasons. I learned a ton. Going there and working underneath Todd and learning his system and being able to work in that atmosphere was really was a great opportunity. I think I grew a lot as a coach, and I saw the game a little bit differently. At the same time, we still followed this, and we got our heart was still here somewhat. Then when we left Louisville, we went to Western Illinois to be a defensive coordinator, which was an opportunity that I felt like I couldn't turn down at this point in my career. And it was also my wife's hometown was Macomb, Illinois, so it was kind of the best of both worlds somewhat there.
Right.
And so we were really excited. Had a lot of success, at Louisville and at Western. But then when Coach, this opportunity came up with him, it was like, what, this is kind of what we really wanted to do again. So we were excited.
Well, I was talking to Coach a little bit when he hired you, and he mentioned that he liked what you did at Western Illinois and the schemes you ran, and he thought you could bring some new ideas, some innovative things. And do you feel like that's something you want to try to? Because it's always good to have a fresh approach.
Right. I think one of the things, if everyone in the room is thinking alike, no one's thinking. So we all look at things differently, and with Coach Pearson being the defensive coordinator now, his system is a little bit more aggressive than when Coach Green was here. So he's got some different ideas, but he does a really good job of letting everyone in the room kind of voice their opinion and kind of give their thoughts on what might be best for the players and that kind of thing. So I think it's a good mix, and ultimately the bottom line is winning games, and whatever you can do to put your players in a position to go be successful, that's what you want to go do. Whether it's one call or 10 calls, whatever it may be, just give your guys the confidence and the ability to go do what they can do, and then see what the chips may fall.
So I was watching you coaching on Saturday. It seems like you're right back in the saddle. I mean, you fit right in with this staff. You get after the guys, but you're caring. Right. I mean, has it been almost like riding a bike, getting back here and coaching with this group and just knowing what Kenny wants out of his assistants?
Somewhat, yes, because there's everything going into it. There's no unknowns, and Coach Niemont, he still coaches the same way as when I first met him 15 years ago. I mean, he chases guys around and
right.
Really positive. And it's someone, I'm a father now and I have 3 children, 2 boys, and I would want my kids to play for someone like him, just because he is he's so passionate about his players and trying to do what's best for them. And it's a fun environment to work in.